Abo Shisho. Living a healthy, happy, vibrant, successful, beautiful life. Got up this morning. It's about 5 something right now, 5, 6 o'clock. I think it's 5:30. I have some beautiful stuff that I'm dealing with right now. Like mango. I love mango. Morning smoothie. Morning smooth on smooth. Bananas. Remnants of the mix yesterday with the cricket powder, blackberries, blueberries, all those beautiful things in there that we had from yesterday. Plus, I'm going to put some lime today, though. I'm going to put lime, of course, some kiwi, like I said, lime, cricket, the powder, for real, love cricket powder. And if you saw the other post that I have up, like the worm, because worms are actually really medicinal. If I had dried worms, believe me, they would be up in here. Good medicinal, good nutrients, because they go through the earth. So they have all of those good nutrients and trace minerals in there. Dried or fresh. Just saying. Boil it down, hook it up, make it happen. That's just also medicine too, but that's something else. For memory, actually. And of course, I don't get out of here without, I got some really good, of course, cilantro. Love cilantro. And then basil. I'm going to put some basil in today. A little different, but basil was the basil. Love basil. Also good for memory. Also good for digestion. Also good for protection, actually. But in this instance, basil was the bomb. It's going to keep things flowing. And then obviously some mint. Some wonderful mint for mint. Love the mint. And then I got some other really good, different kind of parsley today. Like Italian parsley. That's what I got today. So good stuff, I like this too. I like this Italian parsley, but I think curly parsley is some of the best stuff I like. But Italian parsley too gets it rolling. Again, great for the kidneys. And great for the kidneys, great for the libido, great for digestion, great for just overall health, energy throughout the day. You're talking about having good energy. Grab a hold of some the things I'm speaking about today. Put that stuff together with a little oat milk. You're living lovely and large. I'm just saying. All right. But yesterday I didn't put any avocado in there, which I will today. And then I had some oat milk. I'm doing that up too. But mix yesterday was with the Irish moss, which I actually put in here too today. The mix. I had a good little gelatinous. So I was eating that like all day, basically yesterday. And a really good like porridge almost. I was eating it and it just kept me. I didn't really eat anything all day. I had a bunch of nutrients. I had a lot of energy. No digestive, nothing. Everything was good. Everything was really good. So, love the blueberry. Excuse me. Love the blueberries all day long. I get enough of them. All these things are really easy, accessible. I like to put them inside of what I do because it actually makes, food, access, good health, good wealth, all those beautiful things is always well received in this household. Because what's the best way to help to heal somebody? Is the food you naturally have around you, right? That's what I try to promote and push all day, every day, 50 times on Sunday. Because these are foods that we need to sustain ourselves. That's why I posted all that stuff about edible bugs and things like that. Or just talk about cricket powder and things like that. Because these are things that are needed in our body. Body craves them, seeks them out. It wants it to be you know, I need to get some more cricket powder. Because it just, the nutrients, the raw nutrients, the things that we need to sustain ourselves and build our system up, our body up, our mind up, our spirit up. It's just like, gives us all this dynamic energy. I love it. The reason why is because, again, these are things that naturally occur, that our body sustains and seeks and craves. We don't crave greasy foods. Our body doesn't crave these things. It has them because it's easy access to them. But that's not what it craves. Our body craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals. All vitamin means is vital minerals, right? So we're talking about things that our body needs on a daily basis. So we get that first thing in the morning in a smoothie because it's too early to get something really heavy in our system. We shouldn't have heavy breakfasts. We should have a heavy smoothie, a nice smoothie in the morning, or porridge or something like that that's easy to digest. And by midday point, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midday. That's the best time to really go in and make sure that you have all the things that you need, right? Because that's when you're going to have all the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, everything that your body have access to digest and get into the system a lot easier. The body will accept it a lot better. And, because it's accepting it, it's getting into the system a little easier. Your brain will be more aware, focused. Children, you do this, you give this to your child before he goes or she goes to school. Then you start having these, their brain's on point. They're like, they're thinking caps on. They put your thinking caps on, right? Like they used to say back in the day in school, right? But that's true, because you feed the body the things that it needs, it'll give you everything that you need back, right? So that's really the truth of anything that we seek to accomplish in our life is balance. If you don't hear nothing else from me today, it's balance. Because, everybody has their on days, off days. Not everybody's 100% on point 24/7. Facts. Right? Balance, though, is what we're talking about. 100%. If you're balanced, even though you may get off balance for whatever reason in the season, right? Regardless what it is. Everybody has those days that they're good, on point, and not on point, right? But balance, getting back to balance, getting back to an equilibrium in your system, internally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Because once you get back to balance, you say, well, how do I get here? How do I do this? By first seeking out what are your strengths and your weaknesses in your life, right? Because your strengths are generally sometimes, if put in a certain position, may be your weakness. And then your weakness, and put in a certain position or put in a certain place, could be your strengths, depending on how you tweak it and how you use it. And both of them could be balancing to each other. And that's the course. When you look at how your body reacts to certain medicines, certain ways to develop those medicines in your body. You can take one herb. I can take this one herb and say, okay, I'm gonna just eat the meat of this avocado. Okay, but I'm missing out on the seed. I'm missing out on the nutrients and the antioxidants of the skin of the avocado, right? All those things that are also just as important. So you can miss out on the core of something by only looking at the surface of the things that you seek. If you go further than that, then you start getting a deeper understanding of why, where, when, how. And that's your destiny. That's when you start thinking and knowing your destiny. And destiny doesn't mean that you have this this big old epiphany that happens in your life. Something that happens with experience, with time. You know who you are by the things that that come easy to you, or that you are more affiliated with or connected to on a daily basis. Right? It's easy to follow. It's harder to go internal. Internal and follow is two different things. You internalize something, that means you are making it a part of you, not just necessarily doing it. Anybody can do anything, right? But is it a part of you? Or are you just going through the motions? Or are you just going for the front? Because anybody can front about anything, right? It can make you look like somebody's wealthy, when in reality, they could have a nice little Beamer and be living in a trailer at the end of the T-junction. Just saying, right? And that's real. Because people love the front or to make themselves feel better what they feel that they lack. But in reality, people think that they lack, they actually have in abundance. They just need to open up their eyes and see in the things that they have, their natural gifts, or the things that they have around them. Using that's what they call a hustle, right? Hustle is not a negative thing. It can be. If you're being manipulated one way or the other, right? But a hustle is basically the tools that you hold or the things that you know. Like I'm an herbalist. I've been dealing with herbs for 42 years. It comes naturally for me. Been dealing with this since I was 4 years old all the way up. My grandmother was the one who taught me, right? So that's something that I know, right? Something I do naturally. I mean, if somebody came asked me a question about an herb, it would just pop into my brain because that's just what I do, right? That's my destiny. That's my purpose in life. Same thing with E5B, but that's my destiny. It's my purpose. It comes naturally to me. That's what I'm destined to do. So, in finding that, you open up the doorway to so many other things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to attach yourself to any one thing, but it's good to have a teacher. It's good to have somebody that you can actually connect to and build with and grow with. You have many teachers in life, but when you're focused and you're rooted and not just flighty all over the place, that's when things get havoc. You don't have any kind of structure or balance in your life. Getting back to balance, right? Getting back to an understanding of balance. What is it? Like we talked before about power. Power is lost on a child that lies in the middle of the road, doesn't know how to walk or run. Because power is not something that somebody may have one small little thing that they think is powerful, personality-wise or whatever the case may be. I always say this, there's always somebody more powerful than you. Somebody already has more knowledge than you, or greater understanding of anything that you do, right? But power itself is the aiding and developing of others, to help them to obtain or develop themselves to a greater point in their life. That's powerful. Even if that means that you're aiding them to go beyond you. Like a parent. That's what a parent's supposed to do. Parents are supposed to provide that position to where they're helping that child to go beyond them. Not just to keep them in a certain position to just listen, to do whatever. No, to go beyond me. I want you greater than me. If you doing the same thing I'm doing, the same way, and you haven't developed it in your own self, then I failed as a parent, right? And I haven't really given that child any kind of understanding of anything. If I'm only trying to live my life through them, I failed as a parent. Something to think about. So same thing with ourselves. If we're only following the loop of whoever's around us, and not necessarily internalizing the things that we're learning, then we failed ourselves. Because there's things that we may be missing in our everyday life that we have access to on a regular basis, that we take for granted. Don't even realize it, Maybe it's that elder that's sitting around that's trying to teach you something that you keep running from. Or maybe that's, somebody in your loop or your cipher that's opening you up to an opportunity, but you're not ready to deal with it because you're shut down or lost in some kind of loop, right? All depends on how you look at things, how you develop and grow within it. And a lot of times, it may seem preachy or whatever from somebody that's older, or even somebody that's around you, but in reality, things that think you know are usually things that you don't have any idea of, because it's like every time I know something, or think I know something, I think I have better access to it, I end up being shattered, meaning going to somewhere else and have somebody else give me a deeper understanding of it. It's like, oh, I thought I knew it. I didn't know anything, right? All wisdom is not a bunch of facts. Wisdom is the knowing how to apply something. That's where elders come into play, right? If you have a good elder or somebody that's around you, that's applying things in your life, that's giving you insight into your life, and you're not taking advantage of listening, then you're losing out. 20, 30 years down the line, you're like, whoa, that's what they were trying to tell me. That's what they were trying to give me. That's what that insight was trying to open up to me. But I thought I knew it all, because I was learned a very small, intricate part of something, but didn't realize there's so much more to it. Like, for example, with Ifa, a person can get lost within one lineage. That's why I expand and talk to many elders, not just one. Right? Even though you may have an alua, I have an alua that I've studied with, that I trained with, that somebody that initiated me, and then these other teachers, and then my current alua and Abiba has opened these things up and guided me, and told me, and taught me many things, and continually. Right? You don't stop learning until you stop breathing. Even then, you don't stop learning. But that's a different conversation. Let's think about these kinds of things, on a regular basis, because when you begin to put things together in that context, you start to lose all sense of that I know everything. It's all about me. Even when I go into studying Ifa, I know there's as many ways to approach it. Somebody may be from Ekiti. Somebody may be from wherever, that has knowledge of something that I need to learn or gain or understand, right? But for a person to think that they know everything, or to be arrogant, right? I think that's a video that I'm going to make about arrogance. Because when you think you know everything, you think you have everything. I know for a fact that I do not know everything. That's a fact. Nor will I ever say anything near or around that. Because to know everything is to be Olodumare, right? And I'm definitely not Olodumare, And that's where it comes down to humbleness. Being humble while you're learning. Having understanding while you're learning. Not being arrogant. Arrogance only harms the people that surround you. It doesn't help. It doesn't even, people look at you like you're crazy because they think that this person thinks they know everything. They think they have everything. So the elder that doesn't say anything in a lot of those situations is sitting back looking at you. They're not looking at you with praise. They're looking at you because they're like, they'll learn. They get what they need. It's something to think about. Just because you learn something on the internet doesn't mean you know it. Just because you read something out of a book doesn't mean you know it fully. There's people that are divining out of books. Or I don't know if you ever seen that thing on on the internet about somebody making, again, I can't knock them. I don't know what the parameters of what that is, but they have this app, the way you're shaking it, and then, it's like a digitized opwele, and you're shaking it, and then it flips up and it says, duh, 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 duh. But that's not training. That's not giving you any other excess or development. So everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own thing that they seek to accomplish and deal with. It's not for me to say that one way is greater than the other, but it's just when you look at certain traditions, to be eclectic, right? To be all over the place, to not have grounding, to have balance in your life. You lose sight of something far greater than what you think you have, or what you want to express or deal with. Most times, we lose ourselves in somebody else's idea or action instead of looking at ourselves from the perspective of, as we learn this thing, how can we develop it, internalize it to ourselves, and then reuse it and repurpose it in ourselves? Not just regurgitate what we hear, right? So I don't care what system you seek to follow. Don't regurgitate. Focus. Focus on the things that you seek to do. You know, that one thing that you think that possibly that somebody else could bring to the table for you. You may not even realize that you got it already in your hand. So, just a few thoughts. You know, I'm like I said, I know that I have not all knowledge. I'm constantly seeking and growing. I know that I've studied. I know that I've taken time to go through certain things, but I also realize that always more to learn. I always think about that when I say the same thing sometimes over and over again, but I was just got initiated to Ifa. Came out the Grove, connected with my Luos, first of Luos. I was at his father's compound. His father was deceased at the time. I think he transitioned like a little bit before. And my Luo took me there, and his uncle was there. His uncle was like, man, you know, because every time I would see him, he would be reciting verses of my Odu, like consistently, right? For like 30, 45 minutes every time he saw me. It's really interesting because it's like, oh man, you know, where's my recorder? But then I got to a certain point, it was like, dang, you know, I'm missing out on a point. He's actually blessing me with all these understandings, whether I understood him fully or not at that particular time. But he said, he's like 80, I think he was 86, 87, something like that, somewhere around there, mid to late 80s. And he was like, oh, there's so much more for me to learn. He just said like 45 minutes of, every time I seen him, 45 minutes of new verses of my Odu. Different verses, completely different verses. And it's like really in depth about all aspects of who and what I am through this Odu. I'm like, wow, if you have a lot to learn, I know for a fact I'm not nowhere near where I need to be. That's what humbles you. That's why I say it's always good to have an elder around. Because an elder will humble you quicker than you know. No matter how much you think you know, no matter how much you think you understand, the elder will humble you very, 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 very quickly. So, you know, because some people say, well, not all elders are worthy of being respected. But, you know, sometimes you learn what not to do. Sometimes you learn what to do. It's not always that you have this great epiphany of they're doing something good. They may be doing something that's not kosher. And sometimes you're like, okay, but, you know, I learned something because I know that when I get to a certain point, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z because I see how it affected me, you know? And I see how it affects other people. You know, so that's why, again, even if the elder may teach you some things that you need and other things that you don't, that's still a lesson. It's not fast enough. I'm not getting it. Well, there's never a fast road. Ever. I don't care how much you give a person, money-wise or otherwise, there's never a fast road. Ever. Meaning, you have to put in time, energy, and effort to get anything. There's no get rich quick or spiritual enlightenment overnight. Because I've done X, Y, and Z. I've read all the books. I've gone through the study and such. Gone through the 2-week course. No. It's called study. Time, energy, and effort. So that's my spiel for today as I chop up and put in these beautiful herbs and roots inside of my smoothie. Like my grandfather said, that's my half penny for the day. It All right, there we go. This is what I'm calling a beautiful day. Beautiful smoothie for any kind of way. Love it. Love the smoothie. Every smoothie is a new thing for me. Get my body all healthy, happy, vibrant, successful, flourishing, and flowing. Can't stop for knowing. You know what I'm saying? So, I know it's a long one. I'll probably have to chop this up in a few. Probably in a few different videos. But just look through the whole thing. You get what you need out of it, hopefully. That's the point. You know, little by little, bit by bit, we make our way through it. But right now, party people, oh, I can't forget the honey. Can't forget the honey. That's what I'm saying. Raw honey is the best road to money. All right. See what we got up in there. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think I may go a little longer. Just a little bit. I wonder, did I put that? Yeah. I put it on smoothie now. So I put it on ice cream first because I wanted to really kind of mesh them together, break up everything in there. Then I put it on smoothie so to break it all the way down so it'll be nice and liquefied. So which is good. You know, you liquefy it enough, you get inside the system and actually your body starts to obtain it and deal with it a little bit better, easier. That's why I like to do it that way. Like a lot of stuff that's thick in there. So I don't want it to be chalky or kind of just at the end of all at the bottom of the blender. And then I get all these big clumps and stuff. Now I want to break it all the way down so I can have it. I can have it. Have it like I have it. Really, rabbit. All right, there we go. Let's make it go. Let's make it roll and roll. Oh, shoot, I don't need to take that off, do I? All right, now let's get some snugging with the pugging. Oh, still going. Okay. Well, let's get this popping. Populated. I forgot I put the ginger in there too. I did. That's good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Healthy, happy, vibrant, successful, or double.